Welcome, everybody, to Sasha and Goff, live recorded. I'm Sasha.
And I am Goff.
And we are back this week with our top 3 favorite and least favorite talk show hosts of all time. How did this go for you?
Not bad. I just kind of realized I didn't watch as many talk shows as I thought I did because...
Yeah, trying to think of talk shows was the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
So going through and then you're like, oh, there's daytime shows as well.
Yeah.
And then podcast was kind of it, but not all podcasts are talk shows, but some of them are kind of like talk shows.
I do have one that was a radio show, so...
I have a radio show as well. Hopefully not
maybe
the same one.
one.
Maybe. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Those of you who are interested in reaching this show, whether it's to give us a top 3 to put into that bucket up there, or whether it's just to call us your favorite slurs, you can do so at our phone number.
Like, do you mean people would say those are my favorite slurs talking about us, or...
Anything. Literally anything.
Okay. We're very open with our slurs around here.
100%. Usually not when things are recording. 1-727-266-6469. That's 1 Sasha 666-469.
That's good.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
Well, it's good because it's got a little Satanism and sex.
Yeah, that's what sells.
And Satanism
Serbians.
and Serbian, Sasha, sex, Satanism. It's the 4 S's. We're going to rank those this week.
That's the rank 'em. I don't know that I have a rank 'em, so that might be the 4.
All right.
But yeah, so contact us, send us a text message, leave us a voicemail, do whatever you want. And there's literally no rules. We don't care.
No rules.
So do that. That's the number 1 rule of podcasting.
There's no rules.
No rules. I went to an art fest this week.
Really?
I went to an art
fest. You talked
a
lot about art last week.
Did. Very creative episode last week. If anybody made it through that end, God bless you.
It was good. It was 2 totally different aspects, though, because yours was more like self-help books, I feel.
Yeah.
And mine were just like Stephen King.
That's okay. That's what this is all about. It's about randomly wasting time with friends.
Good. Well, we're good at that.
Love it. So I went to the Barrington Art Fest this week. Have you ever been to an art fest?
No.
No, that's all you got.
I was gonna think, and it's like, well, no, I have not.
I've been to a couple. It's something that me and Megan do every summer. They start coming around. They're all over the place in the Chicago suburbs, in Chicago, all over the place.
And now you literally mean just like the one where there's just art hanging on the wall and you just walk around and...
Well, it's kind of cool, Goff. So like this one in Barrington they kind of close off a couple streets, like a downtown area.
Okay.
And then it kind of looks like a Warped Tour where it's just like tents and tents and tents.
Yeah.
And each artist has their own tent.
Oh, so is this more like vendor type? Like them? Okay,
yeah.
See, I was thinking like an art show, like a gala, like an art exhibit. That's why I was like, you go to those?
Well, they also like have the people who run these shows, as I think my dog's murdering someone. I don't know if anybody can hear it. But they like also, it's a contest as well. So like the people who run the shows also go through and like the artists present their stuff, and so they'll do like best painting, best woodworking, best 3D, best cartoon draw, like I don't know what all the things are, sculptures, all those kinds of things. And there's just like, like 50 to 100 vendors, or it depends on which city you go to or whatever. But this one's kind of cool. It's like just in like a little downtown. Like I said, they block off a couple streets. And it's a little bit weird because every one you walk by, there's 2 ways of doing it. One is you go into every single tent and you look at people's stuff, and then they're like, come on, buy it.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, I'm not buying any of this. I'm just here to walk around in the sun. Like, that's all I'm really here for.
Yeah.
Or you can just walk down the aisles, like look one way. If anything catches your eye, you can stop, and then you walk back and check out the stuff on the other way. It's a little bit awkward on...
Well, I was just thinking, too, sorry to interrupt, like, it's not the easiest stuff to carry around either. Like a painting, as opposed to a T-shirt and just stuffing that, like, in your purse or your fanny pack or whatever.
And some of them, I mean, there's a lot of people who are selling, like, $7,000 paintings that are, like, the size of 2 of these TVs or more, or
what
bigger.
What are you going to do with that?
And people buy them. It's crazy.
No, I don't mean like,
but I mean,
what are you
like,
going to do with
art?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with art? Yeah, but you're right. And then like some of these statues and like the woodworking stuff, it's like people take time and like they have to transport these things and whatever. It's cool. It's cool to see like what people are doing. There's some certain things that you see. Dogs is one. Like people bring dogs all the time, and so that's like one of my favorite things. It's like you go to an art fest and you just like watch all these cool dogs. And then another of our favorite thing to see is like the old heads, like artists who've been doing it for a long time, and you can tell because their clothes are like wacky and they have like yellow rimmed glasses and stuff like that. And just I don't know, it's cool. It's always like a good time, and they have food, carnival food, if you will, so you can get some hot chips or whatever,
chips and gyros and anything you can get at the local hot dog stand. I did say cotton candy though, so that was
we'll allow it, but yeah, so that's something we did this week. And I ended up going to downtown St. Charles, which if you're not familiar is on the river. And have you heard of mayflies before?
Like, are these actual bugs or?
Yeah.
No.
Well, they come out in May. It's not just a clever name.
So they actually get it right, not like the stupid June bugs that come out in April.
I guess. I don't know, but these are like flies, and if you are in this downtown area by the river, they are all over you. It's disgusting. If you're eating outside, you're screwed. Like, if you are too close to the river. So
does the river attract them? Is that okay?
Yeah. And so last year we like were in St. Charles on to go to dinner or whatever, and they were like all along the windows of the place that we were at.
How big are they?
They're small, and I don't think they bite you or anything, but you look down and there's like 50 of them on you, and you're like, this is disgusting. And so we ate outdoors yesterday. And there weren't any where we were because we were like in between buildings, like it was like a courtyard almost. But then we walked near the river, and it was just
a loophole.
Yeah, right. And then we were just covered in them, and you're like eating chocolate, and they're on your chocolate, and you're like, this sucks.
The worst situation I ever had like that was I went to Texas with some family friends, and on our way back, I think we were driving through Tennessee. There was literally like windshield wipers on because the mosquitoes were so bad. It was, I mean, just disgusting when you're like, and kind of like to a lesser extent it wasn't as bad, but the cicadas last year, you could hear them every once in a while pinging off of your, and
there's nothing that brings you more joy than cicada talk.
It's always going to come back to the cicadas.
Always. Have you ever been in one of those you see those flying ants?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a swarm of them where they're like a field, like a football field? That happened when I was in school, like elementary school, and we all had to like lay on the ground because they were just like flying.
Oh, damn.
I mean, just like, it was crazy. And then I graduated elementary school. How about that?
Nice.
So yeah, that's about it. Trying to spend some time outdoors and wasting time. That's about it.
We went out actually a couple weeks ago. No, not a couple weeks ago. Was it last weekend? I got all my time off. We went out last weekend to a Mexican restaurant in downtown Wheaton, which was real nice. And I know you guys go out a lot.
Next to the theater?
Yeah. Literally, that's the one. Because I looked up and it's like, Wheaton Grand Theater. And it's like, hey, I saw your girl Willie there.
That's
about
right.
20 years ago.
That's right. 2 weeks in a row of Egg Roll Willie talk.
Well, I can't believe that. Like, I thought that place shut down. Like,
it's like a historic theater, so they're just keeping it what it is. Like people try to buy it and like do stuff with it, and it never works. So yeah, it's like landmark status.
Okay. But the reason I wanted to bring this up, and it's more just us being old heads, how much it sucks when you have to like, basically them updating things with restaurants, like where now you might not even get a menu, you just have to scan a QR code, and now the menu is on your phone, and it's like you're trying to look what's out. It's highly obnoxious, and then I hate to think, and I hate to always complain because we had a good time and the food was really good.
Did you guys eat outside because they block off that?
No,
street?
we you know what, we were going to, but it was just like, I don't know, it wasn't like hopping. It would have been like really lame if like it was probably cooler to be inside in this situation. But us, I mean, it was a Friday night at like 5 p.m. That's that's when we go out. But the other thing too, when they give you the bill, and it's like here, and it's like they're handing you the thing that has the button where you tip them.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's not like, hey, can I have a second? You know, so you awkwardly either give them a
Some
shitty
people
tip
do.
or...
Some people drop it and they go, "Thank you guys, have a good day. There's one more question on there for you," and then they'll walk away and like, so it won't pressure you. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's absolutely like a weird thing when they stand there and they're like waiting to get the machine back.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask you then, because you have been a server. I was a server too. I think you were a bit longer than I was, though. I was like less than a year, and it was at a fondue restaurant, so it was very non-traditional serving. Do you like things like this when you see this? Are you ever just like, man, I wish they had that when I was there, or are you like, fuck this? Like this
sometimes,
is
like in this case with the digital thing, the toast things that I think they're called, or I don't know, but they, you know, where they type it in like the order or whatever. I say that I wouldn't want it because like it's a new thing to learn. Yeah, but it actually kind of looks cool, like it would be useful to use, and you just carry that and you don't have to worry about paper and a pen and going like this and whatever. But yeah, I'm old, so I complain about it like regardless. The QR codes, I hate that stuff. Like we'll go to dinner and I'll leave my phone in the car so that like I'm not on my phone.
Yeah, you're smart. And
then like we get to a restaurant and they're like, well, QR only, and I'm like, well, how much are glizzys in this place? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, getting used to some of the newer stuff or whatever.
How much are glizzys?
How much are glizzys, bro? That's what I want to know.
And I also wanted to talk about and this has been a couple weeks, but I'm still pissed off about this shitty Android update. It's still pissing me off.
That's so funny.
You know, we talked about this, but you have Android as well, correct?
I do. It's so weird because like I'll get the update and then my wife will get like a month will pass and she'll get the update. And we bought our phones the same day, and I'm already on the new one that's like weird, and it automatically changes your phone into eco mode and I'm like, why does it keep turning off?
I hate that I can't tell the percentage of my battery anymore because it's just like a big white circle. But
I don't have that yet.
Oh God, mine it looks like a pill. It's annoying. But Joni's got an iPhone, so it's like I can't relate with her.
Yeah.
We got Sadie a cell phone actually. My oldest daughter. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, so it was kind of weird because she's 13. You know, she just which school's done. Hell yeah, by the way for that. She just got done with 7th grade, and she's never really like asked us for a phone. Like we've even asked her if she wants one, and it's always kind of been like, yeah, but I think in her mind she's worried she's gonna lose it. But the second we got her one, because we just kind of did it, and like she had a watch that she could communicate with us, but it's like as she's getting older, it's more like if you're making a phone call with someone, it's like it's always on speaker, you know. So she's trying to. So we just got her the phone, and now it's just like she's literally been on it for probably 80% of the last couple days. Like at 5 p.m. yesterday, I was just like, you got to take a break. Yeah. Like, you're done.
It's not only like, obviously we're all addicted to phones or whatever, but it's like, it'll mess up your eyes from looking at it. It'll like physically harm you. Yeah. Mentally harm you.
Well, the main reason, and I know obviously it's so she can get a hold of us and stuff, and we can get a hold of her. But
she can get a hold of us at 1-727-266-6469.
I'm going to put that in her phone, actually. I'll put it in there. But, no, the main thing is just because she spends so much time, like, on her tab, like, gaming and all that stuff, we didn't want her to, like, lose touch with her friends to where it's, like, we're the ones that the parents have to keep texting us, you know, and we're facilitating for our kids. So it's like, all right, if you want to do shit over the summer, now you can...
So if she would have wanted a phone earlier, would you guys have gotten her a phone?
Yeah. We were ready to get her one probably like a year or two ago, and she just kept kind of like, no, it's fine. But the second we got it for her, I mean, like, you could tell it's like next level for her. Yeah. Like, you know, that there's that next level of like...
addiction.
Yeah. But no, I mean...
I have a friend who just gave his kid, I think he just turned 10, he gave him a phone.
Okay.
And I don't know anything about when you're supposed to give children phones, but like, I figured that's a weird subject. It's like,
so it's tough too because, I mean, it's great they have all these programs like Family Links and stuff that, you know, so Samsung, Google, all these companies are like, okay, everything she does, though, you have to approve it. And it's like, oh, that's great, so she can't be watching porn or whatever the hell it is. However, it's really obnoxious every 15 minutes when she's like, hey, can you check yes for this, or can you verify this, or hey, my phone shut off 20 minutes ago, can you turn it back? There's locks and all this stuff, so it is obnoxious. But, I mean, it's still good that, we can monitor what she's watching, but there's certain times when it's just like, I don't fucking have time for this.
So your younger daughter is 10?
Yeah.
And
she still has the watch thing like that I was talking about.
Is she now jealous?
We thought it went a lot better than I thought it was going to. Actually, yeah. But she was excited for Sadie. And so, yeah, you know what, though? I could see us getting her one real soon, too, because everything is so simple now. Speaking of what we were talking about with servers, like, you used to have to go into T-Mobile, and then, like, 4 hours later, it's just like, yeah, they've transferred your data. They got you this new plan, everything. Now you just go online and you look at your phone plan, and it's like, add another line. Yeah. Click. Yeah. Phone comes in 2 days.
I will say this. I have T-Mobile, and they do not pay us. T-Mobile is the best that
we have T-Mobile too.
Ever had. I used to have Boost Mobile, and I'll call them up by name because they're a bunch of little bitches. That's what the B in Boost stands for. But they tried to sell me gold, and then they stole my identification. Yeah. So, like, that's not cool. I was paying $30 a month. I didn't know that was in the contract. T-Mobile takes care of me. I got issues. I go into a T-Mobile. 4 people come help me. Usually Hispanic women. That's cool. I'm in. Okay. I had a problem. My mom was going to Europe, and so I had to, like, see if I had international plans or whatever. They made me call. I called up. No problems. They helped me. T-Mobile. It's the place to be.
Yeah. No, I had phone problems, like, within
Boost
the last
Mobile?
year.
Boost Mobile? Suck it.
Suck it. It doesn't matter. We don't need to talk about phone stuff. So, yeah, you got any other fun stuff to talk about? I just had complaints about the Android update.
No, I got
QR
nothing.
Codes.
You want to talk about what we're putting inside ourselves this week?
Let's do it, baby.
All right, what we are putting inside ourselves this week. I will start things off with, I got a couple things. I am on the back end, the very back end of Hacks, Elf, and Drew Carey.
It's all coming to an end.
Drew Carey, season 9. I'm at the end. It's a horrible season. Elf season 4. Let me tell you about Elf. Elf is a horrible show. Okay, but it is also a great show, and Elf the character is like amazing. I've never watched a show where the show's been so bad, but I'm still invested because of the character. Yeah. Like everything else I would have given up on by now. These people in 4 seasons, every episode is about them not like taking care of their alien. They're just like, all right, we're gonna go to the store, and then Elf does something while they're gone, and every time
he should be locked in the attic.
They get mad at him for like going outside or whatever, and they're like, it's like you can't. Worst acting of all time.
Can I ask you, did you ever watch Harry and the Hendersons?
The movie or the TV show?
I guess the TV show. And the only reason I'm asking that I can't give comparisons, but like, was it like that for that show too, where they were just like, get the fuck back in your closet or whatever, Because
Good question. I remember that show being a little bit better. Granted, I don't remember Elf at all before I watched it now. Harry and the Hendersons, I kind of remember like enjoying the show, but if I watched it now, I might be like, this is
probably
bad.
Be sad. I feel like there'd be people hunting Harry all the time.
Yeah,
that's funny you say that, because even with Elf, it's like, when I was a kid, it's like, Elf, hell yeah. Now it's like, what can you tell me about Elf? It's like cats, alien.
Pretty much.
Like, that's it.
The episode I was watching yesterday had a very young David Alan Grier, which was kind of cool.
Nice.
You're thinking 1988, David Alan Grier.
Yeah.
And then one of the funniest parts of the show is not on the show. It's the credits.
Okay.
In the credits, I was watching one time, and it said Elf's assistants.
Oh, yeah. That's what I saw you posted that on.
He's got 2 assistants. Yeah. Elf.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, the show itself is like, this is just so stupid. But like Elf, he's got some hacky jokes and whatever. But every once in a while, he drops a joke where you're like,
like he drops an
N-bomb. Was he allowed to say that?
Like,
yeah.
Jeez, man.
It's very. He said yesterday was funny. It was like they had a baby, and the dad is like, does the baby look at me? Because the dad's got a weird voice or whatever.
Okay. I can picture him.
And then Alf was like, all babies look like you. And then he's like, well, all white babies. And then they like cut the scene, and I was like, people wrote that and then just left it in. Not that it's racist or anything. It's just a weird
it's a
line.
Fact, but it's still just like
it's not funny. It's just like I guess so that's coming to an end. I'm in the last season of L, and then Hacks. I'm in season 4. This is on HBO Max. I've talked about it a bunch. This season, I've kind of been like, I'm watching them, and I'm kind of like, all right, the story's not really going anywhere. I'm still gonna watch it. It's just it hasn't had much excitement. And then the penultimate episode of the season, something happened where it was like a big speech on free speech, which is kind of like going with like what's going on in the world today and stuff like that. And it was just out of nowhere and like very well done, and something I didn't see coming. So they like hooked me back for the second to last episode.
So what are they? Did you say what season they're on?
They're on 4, and they just got renewed for 5.
Oh wow!
So they will be back another one.
Damn. So are you happy with that? Like,
I am.
Where the show is right now?
Yeah.
You're like, good? Okay.
Yep. In fact, I like it better than like how The Bear was season 3, which was just nothing
a
happened.
bad season.
Yeah.
They just fucked up.
That said, looking forward to season 4.
Yeah.
Hoping some stuff happens in there.
It's got to.
Yeah. And then so I wanted to ask you, looking for new TV shows, which one of these do you think I should do next? And do you know any of these? Shrinking, I believe you said. You did.
Well, just give me the other one.
Shrinking,
first.
Righteous Gemstones.
Okay.
Featuring, you know what that is, with Danny McBride.
The workaholic guy.
Or a rewatch. I've never seen either of those two shows. Or a rewatch of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, like back to back.
Interesting. All right, so I've seen Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Righteous Gemstones, I've heard, is fantastic. And then what was the other one?
And Righteous Gemstones also just ended. It's 4 seasons, and it's completely done, so you can binge it. And then Shrinking is the other one.
Shrinking, I would say last. I did watch the first season. I just didn't really enjoy it, but I did finish it just to finish it. I mean, like, I'm seemingly the only person that love that word that didn't like it though. Everyone else,
I have a bucket of slime above you, and anytime you say
seemingly or well played,
it's pretty good.
You can't do that on television. That would be great.
Seemingly, you didn't like.
Oh yeah, so Shrinking. I did not like Jason Segel in the show, and I love him. I didn't like Harrison Ford.
Oh, wow.
I do like the girl. I don't remember what Jessica something I think is her name. She's the main lead. She's great. But Breaking Bad, obviously can't go wrong with those. Righteous Gemstones, I really want to watch. Okay. I've heard very good things. So I would, if you were going to ask me, it's like, hey, based on what you've heard, I'd say, maybe check that out. Maybe I'll watch it too.
Yeah. Maybe we can
give weekly reviews.
This is a Righteous Gemstones podcast.
Actually, that's our ranking for this week.
Oh yeah,
Righteous Gemstones and the other ones.
And then the only other thing I have this week is it's a podcast. It's called the Broken Record Podcast. I believe Rick Rubin is involved with this podcast somehow. Okay. We talked about him last week when we talked about books.
Yeah.
But on this week's episode, they interviewed Ben Kweller. I've been a Ben Kweller fan for a long time. He's like a singer-songwriter. I don't think you like him or would like him at all.
Just not really familiar.
Actually, his band, the bass player is McLovin from Superbad.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Correct. Yeah. Mintz, please.
Hey.
I think that's his Instagram.
That's good.
Account or whatever. But anyway, I haven't listened to Ben Kweller in a while. I'd say like the past couple of years I started listening to him again, but I listened to him when I was like in my early 20s, I would say. He had a song that was on like Mr. Deeds or like one of those things that like really blew him up.
Okay.
And just a couple popular songs back in the day. This podcast episode is like basically his entire, if you want to know about him, it's what to listen to. So he was in a band called Radish that got signed when he was like 15 years old to a major label. So he was at parties with like Tom Petty and Joe Strummer and all these things. Wow. And he's not like a party guy, but he's like really into music.
Wait, I'm sorry. He's not the Ben Folds guy, is he?
No, but he's, like in the early aughts. See what I did there?
Now you can say it.
In the early aughts, there was like Ben Folds, Ben Kweller, Ben Lee, Ben Harper. There was so many Bens at that point. And then there is a band called the Bens, which is Ben Kweller, Ben Lee, and possibly Ben Folds might be the third one. But anyway, so this is like the stuff he did in Radish was the name of his band. then like his solo stuff, which gained him a bunch of popularity, to where he is now, where like he just had one of his kids who was 16 just died in a car accident, and he talks about the accident that day, and it's the first time I heard him like really talk about it.
Wow.
And so like the podcast is like funny, ups, down, and then like super sad about that part, and it's just a very, very good podcast episode to listen to. Even if you're not going to listen to his music or anything like that, it's just like very well done. And yeah, so that's the only stuff I really paid attention to this week.
Where you at on radishes?
Yeah, I'm in as of recently, like the last couple years. I'm like, what is this? Oh.
I've always loved radishes. Only problem though, my mother-in-law, love you to death if you're listening, I'll eat a radish and then she'll buy like 3 pounds of radishes for me. It's like, I know you love radishes. It's like, no, I did at that time. No, they're good. All right. Now it's time for me to deliver on that great tease I had last week about 9/11.
Let's do it.
Because it's been too long. Stop.
High five.
Oh, yeah. That's what we were doing. I watched a documentary on Netflix, what you do all the time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and this was one, a very weird one to watch. It was American Manhunt, Osama bin Laden.
Oh, yeah. It's on my list.
Yeah, so it's actually, it was. That's probably why, because it was like just plastered right off the front. And I was like, you know what? I need something to talk about on the episode this week. Sasha always talks about interesting things. And, done really well. Very chilling. A lot of the stuff when you watch this, just going back through when this stuff happened, when they showed George Bush being recorded, someone coming up and telling him that this happened and just watching his reaction, because he was at a school reading to kids. And this happened, and it's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like this really bad timing. So, did you ever see the movie Zero Dark 30?
No, I didn't.
Do you remember that one?
I know of it, but I don't.
Okay, so that was the one that was about them, essentially the movie version of this.
Is that SEAL Team 6? Or is that a different thing?
I think it was 6, yeah.
Okay.
That's actually, and I wouldn't have, because I found out in the movie there wasn't a 3, a 4, and a 5, and they did that on purpose so that the enemy would be like, it goes from SEAL 1, 2 to 6. And then so the enemy is just like, where's 3, 4, and 5? Stuff like that.
That's when we were a respected country.
Yeah. But yeah, just getting the guy who actually shot bin Laden, you hear from him, you hear his story, and
is he visible or is he
Yeah, no, he's
incognito?
not blurred out, dude. This guy,
no?
he probably was like, fuck yeah, I want to be on TV. Because there's a lot of other people. But you know what, though? You don't know if they were blurred out by choice or if these are just people that they couldn't get their rights to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because for that situation with that guy, they needed to spend really the only time they could give to just this guy talking. So I understand if they're like, we don't even care about the other guys that were part of this team because we just need his story. Either way, it's 3 episodes. They're all about an hour long, and it's really good.
Yeah. Where are you at on documentaries?
So you're gonna ask, where are you at on 9/11?
Yeah.
No, we've talked about this many times. I feel like a lot of documentaries, though, I'll throw them on. Like I did the Mr. McMahon one. It was a lot of documentaries. I think after the first 3 or 4 minutes, it's when I'm like, I don't give a shit about this. Why did I put this on? Or if I'm like, all right, I'm hooked.
There was that awesome one, the Showbiz. What was the?
Yeah, I think that was the Rock of
Fire Explosion.
Rock of Fire Explosion. Yeah, that was great.
I might watch that again. That was a solid, creepy documentary.
It was good. That was great. All right, so that's my 9/11 drop, and then another recommendation actually, and this is that's what we're doing here anyway. Jet Bright. The car wash. This is another app you need to download because we always talk about the McDonald's one.
I'm out.
Come on. All right, so I just got a free car wash this morning from JetBright. I have not spent any money at that place, but they have one of those, they have a daily spin game where you can either get points or you get nothing or a free spin, whatever. And yeah, I got like a $20 car wash today for free. I've been playing this game for like a month. So
that's so weird.
It's it's a good promotion for them. To get people to come because they have they're just like car washes are the new like Starbucks and Walgreens are on like every fucking corner now.
That's such a weird thing to do. That sounds like something like a business decision I would make, where like you don't have to do anything, just come in and we'll give you the product for free.
I have not spent. I mean, I guess like I've spent data money on the app, but I have not spent a penny. And like
there's I do this Google Rewards survey. It's an app that you just take surveys on. They're like 1 minute surveys. So if you go, I think there's a lot of like geo caching. Is that the word? Location. Like if I go to Jewel and then I come home, I get a thing that says like, which one of these 5 places have you been to? And it'll be Jewel. And then it'll be like, did you make a payment? How did you make a payment? You know, like whatever. It's like 30 seconds and then they pay you anywhere from like 30 cents to I've been paid $2 depending on like how long the thing is. And so you just let it like gather, and like you're saying, like for a month you're just like this. So I'll do it for like a couple months, and then I've bought like wrestling pay-per-views because it gets up to like $50-$60, and I'm like, well,
how do I not know about this?
Well, I'm keeping it a secret,
obviously.
But yeah, it's just like 30 cents, 35 cents, 42 cents, $1, and then after a couple months you're like, oh, that's awesome. Like, you don't spend any time on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, very simple. I think you could even just, like, like make it up and whatever, and they're going to give you the same amount.
Probably just for spending the time, doing it.
So, I don't know why I brought that up, but...
No, it's just
free stuff for life.
And I used the McDonald's app on my own for the first time.
Congratulations.
In the last week. Yeah, it was kind of it was a little exhilarating. I had to pull over to the side, and it was like, oh no, I was sweating. I didn't know if I was at the right location.
See, I do it while driving. I'm bumping into people.
Yeah, you're getting better at it.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last things I had. I talked about this last week in our favorite books, The Hunger Games. So my oldest daughter, Sadie, just got done reading the second book, I think, for school, and since I'm a huge fan of those, I had them already, so I let her read the other one. So we watched the movies, and I don't know why I did that. It was good, but one of the funny things though, and then another movie that I was watching at work, which was Kingpin. It's so funny seeing Woody Harrelson in that, and then going home and watching The Hunger Games and seeing him play a completely different character. I mean, like, I love Woody Harrelson. I think I've talked about it on here. He's probably like one of my top 5 actors. But when's the last time you saw Kingpin?
That's the one with Bill Murray.
Yep, and Randy Quaid.
Yeah,
where he's Amish.
Recently.
Okay.
Like within the past 2 years, I would say.
Probably, I would say I would go ahead and put this in my top 5, I think, of all-time comedies. With those
very
3,
good.
Bill Murray is just such a prick. And I mean, he's just got such great, like, shit headlines. There's a table of ladies. Hi, not you. Hi. To the other one, It's so good, man. I mean, he's just such a good, like, villain. Yeah. And then Woody Harrelson, just playing, like, such a Well, I guess, he's just, like, kind of like both of them with their wigs, the hair pieces.
Yeah, and then the old lady.
Yeah, Lin Shaye.
I watched that within the past couple years, and I was like, man, I'm glad I watched this. Yeah. Like, sometimes you go back on those, like, older comedies, and you're like, this doesn't hit the same, but...
The Farley brothers were on a roll for a while there.
Yeah.
They did, like, something about Mary,
I gotta watch that. I haven't seen that in so long.
Yeah, and then they just kind of started making dumber movies, but, Kingpin, anyone that hasn't seen it, or at least, like, go revisit it, it definitely holds up. But you said you watched it recently.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that all your junk?
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's what I'm calling it.
That's all my shit.
All your trash. All right, then I'm going to do a quick rank 'em. I got one.
Oh, you do got one?
I do.
Got one.
This week's rank 'em, where we rank our 4 items that I just randomly assign. This week's topic is going to be rank 'em, what I'm calling new metal. Last week we did thrash metal.
That's good. I like that.
This week we're doing new metal. And the 4 bands that I picked, you might not even agree that they're all new metal. Korn, Limp Bizkit. I think you have to do those 2. Where are you on Linkin Park as a new metal?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Slipknot.
Slipknot, I don't know about new metal, but I mean, we'll put it in there.
Is there a 4th that comes to mind for you?
I would say like Papa Roach.
What about...
Or Stained.
Papa Roach or, and this will be the decision, Cold Chamber.
Okay, sure.
Is Papa Roach better? I think Papa Roach is more popular.
Yeah, I just like even Cold Chamber. I don't know if I'd say new metal, but
okay, let's do Papa Roach.
Okay,
then. Korn, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Papa Roach, and I could go first if you want me to.
Sure.
Number 4, Papa Roach.
Yeah.
Can't stand Papa Roach. Saw them at Warped Tour. Thought they sucked. There's just never been a Papa Roach.
That's just great.
Number 3, and look, we love all artists here.
Yeah,
Do your thing, Papa Roach, but you're not Papa Euler for me. Number 3, you're not gonna like me for this. Linkin Park.
Okay.
I've never been a fan of Linkin Park. I've never liked the guy's voice.
Okay.
I like some of this newer stuff that they put out, but I'm never gonna listen to it again. I just heard it once, and I was like, "That's not bad," and I've moved on.
Yeah. It's music.
And it's Linkin Park. Number 2, I'm going with Limp Bizkit. Now, Limp Bizkit should be
That's
number.
That's good for you, man.
They should have been like, number 8.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, or fortunately for Limp Bizkit, Papa Roach was on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit. I at least. It's one of those things where you're like, I don't like this band whatsoever, but then I'm like, well, I guess it would be nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's I don't want to say that I like some of their music, break stuff and whatever, but some of it I can just be like, it could be on the background. But you know,
like if you were into like rock and metal or whatever, some of those breakdowns you couldn't help but like, yeah,
they were heavy.
All right,
they were good.
Yeah. Granted, you know, psycho female blow, like some of it, the rap stuff when that comes in, that turn a lot of people off. But no, I mean Limp Bizkit, and I still give them credit for like. They're still like selling out shows and shit. And I think it's the same band.
He was just in a movie that I watched.
Oh yeah,
with
Y2K.
Y2K with Kyle Mooney. Yep. Yeah. Which means my number 1 out of those 4 bands is Korn. Now, if you would have known me in 1999, which I'm pretty sure you did, I probably would have told you that Korn is gay. Is probably what I would have called it back then. I'm okay with Korn. I'm okay. Some of it I hate. I hate the boom, get out of here. But once again, art, do what you want. But they've got some banger. I've always liked the song "Got the Life."
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's just a solid song, and they had a couple other ones. I once I went to see Korn and Rob Zombie at Allstate Arena. I think it was Allstate Arena. It might have been still Rosemont Horizon at the time. And I caught a drumstick from Korn. The drummer threw it out.
Sylvie area, I think.
And then one of the people I was with bought it off me for $50.
No shit.
Yeah, Gary.
There you go.
We've talked about Gary on the podcast before.
That's how you got into flipping, huh?
It was maybe the first flip.
It's the first one.
And I've seen Limp Bizkit and I've seen Papa Roach, but I've never seen Linkin Park.
Okay.
So, out of those 3. So what's your top? I mean, rank them.
All right, so Papa Roach is an easy number 4. Not saying I didn't like them. I was into that one album like everyone else with Last Resort. That one.
That's horrible.
Number 3, I think, would be Korn. Who I do like a lot. Number 2, I think, is Limp Bizkit, and then I think number 1's Linkin Park. Yeah, I think...
You're a big Linkin Park
guy.
guy.
not a big one, but I really do enjoy the first 2 Linkin Park albums and then this new one. I like a lot, and it's not saying that the stuff in between is bad, but it's like sometimes you just kind of fall off, and it's like I just never really got into that album for whatever reason. But yeah, I don't think Chester's a fantastic singer. I don't think their music's great, but I don't know, something about it, and especially just like Linkin Park's not even in my top like 30 for probably like bands actually, but yeah, which means Limp Bizkit surprisingly isn't either. Yeah, but no, I do like the new Linkin Park, but I think they chose a woman who sounds exactly like Chester, but just has a little bit of a more feminine voice. So I don't know, but yeah, no, that's a good one. I like that, but yeah, no love for Papa Roach around here.
No, 0. Sorry, Papa Roach fans.
All right.
So that takes us to our top 3, which this week we're doing our favorite and least favorite talk show hosts of all time. I'll start things off. I'm going to say this. My top one's a little generic.
Top or bottom, where we start?
Top.
All right.
Yeah, let's start with top because mine are generic.
Okay.
By generic, I mean you probably know what I'm going to say, and at least.
Well, I know one of yours, probably your number one.
Yeah. So my number 3, Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
I am a liberal tard or whatever they call us.
Libtard.
And I really like his monologues. I still watch late night shows.
Okay.
Like I still, depending on who's on where or whatever. I don't really watch Fallon because there's not too much substance on Fallon. But I do like Jimmy Kimmel. The monologue in particular, I think, is really, really good. And this day and age, everything's political. Mm-hmm. So it's just like 7 minutes of him bashing Trump or whatever. But I just like the joke writing and stuff like that. So he's my number 3.
All right, my number 3, it's funny you picked him because it's the Man Show co-host, Adam Carolla, but that's not what I'm picking it for. It's for Loveline, actually.
I was going to ask.
Yeah. So I used to listen to it on Q101 every night when I worked nights with my dad.
Everyone who lived in Illinois.
Yeah.
Listened to that,
And I mean, you're not listening at all for the advice. It's like, I don't care about any of this.
Yeah.
Adam Carolla, kind of like Norm Macdonald in their tone and their kind of senses of humor. Two of the funniest guys. Like, when Adam Carolla didn't do as much of like the actual acting, I feel like he kind of stuck to like things like this, like where, but either way, Loveline and Dr. Drew too. I mean, I thought he was very good. I don't follow him anymore. Yeah. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but like, I think he's like all into fitness and shit now. Actually,
do you follow Adam Carolla?
No.
So because like he has a podcast that's like very popular.
Of course he does.
Yeah. Okay. Not a bad one at all. Better than mine for sure. Like generic city over here. Number 2.
Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers, you got it. I love Seth Meyers. Once again, the jokes. Once again, I'm a liberal tard. What is it?
No, all right. Because I made this comparison before, and you seem like maybe you were just like offended by it, but like, can you see though where I could put Seth Meyers and Tony Hinchcliffe being similar, but like they both have kind of voices like this. They resemble each other big time because like they both just look like skinny white dudes. Like. And I mean, like, we've talked about Hinchcliffe. He's another one, I think, like Shane Gillis, where it's like I need him in doses, and then it's like that's enough.
Yeah, I think, like, when I look at them, they're just... Seth Meyers is just, like, corporate, clean cut.
Yeah, I mean, like, granted, he's always wearing a suit. And Hinchcliffe
is just, like, slimy, dirty scuzzball.
All right, but I think like,
hilarious.
If we did a side-by-side and you put their voices over each other, they'd kind of be close.
We have the technology to do this, so we'll figure
I'll do
it
that
out.
Then. I'll send it to you, and I'll make you believe me.
All right.
But no. But I mean, I don't mean in tone at all. Just for.
Well, anyway, I don't agree with it.
Okay.
But I will say this: my top 3 stinks because these are 2 current guys. Like I could have gone anywhere in history. I could have gone Johnny Carson and stuff. But to me, Johnny Carson, I never really.
That's before our time.
And so I don't know that I'm totally happy with my list here, but it's just like, oh well, I do list. These are people who I watch to this day.
Yeah.
So they're here, but yeah, the Hinchcliffe stuff. I don't see it.
Okay. Sorry to offend you.
No, I could be convinced.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
You will. My number 2 is your number 1. It's Conan.
Conan who? Which one?
The Barbarian, obviously. No, and because Conan obviously was some of those old bits like the masturbating bear, stuff like that. And I for whatever reason, when I thought of Conan, I love that throughout his career, and I don't follow him as much as you do, but I feel like I've seen a lot of self-deprecation out of him.
It's all right. Self-deprecation.
So I love that. I mean, obviously, he's a goofy-looking dude with the huge, like, the red hair, the pompadour, whatever, or the, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but obviously he's been able to, like, make fun of his look, and then I love when he was on Arrested Development because Andy Richter became a character on the show and had like 5 twin brothers.
Yeah.
Whenever Conan was on, Andy got to be like an asshole to him.
Yeah.
And it was always just so funny to me. But yeah, no, Conan, again, like doing stupid, like I feel like when he was doing a lot of these skits, they were more up our alley, or at least the stuff I really liked. Like really just like, wow, that was stupid, but it was hysterical. Not like, man, the writing was so good. It's like, it was fine, but it was played off. It was executed perfectly.
I think if you're a little bit older than us, then I don't want to... I want to say something, but I don't want to ruin it if it's your number one guy. So what I'm going to say is... yes, Conan, self-deprecation, all that stuff. Watch the Mark Twain Prize Awards on Netflix. You'll see...
That was the comedy awards, right? Something like
that. It's just an award for him. It's just Conan O'Brien.
Oh, that's right. It's like a legacy award.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you see... Because it's a type of person, and I am very familiar with the type of person because I am the same way. It's like if you get a compliment... You cannot accept the compliment. And so these are people, and Bill Burr is also one of those people, and he's on that show, and he's like, Conan, I know you are not going to look me in the eyes when I say this, and we're going to have an awkward discussion after like this gets off the air, but you're the best ever, blah, 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 this and that. And it's just like, it's a thing, that's where the self-deprecation comes from. It's like, I suck.
Yeah.
Except in his case, there's like extreme talent, and with other people, maybe not so much. But yeah, Conan's my number one, you're number two. So who is your number one? And after you say the name, let me immediately respond.
Okay, well, it's a character, actually. So
okay.
I know. All right, I believe the actor's name is Timothy Stack.
Oh, okay. Then
Dick Dietrich.
Never
mind.
You
remember this?
I don't know any of this.
All right, it's because my phone, you're using my phone after the last episode. I couldn't look it up. I forgot what the name... But it was like a mock talk show. And this used to be on, my brother and I, so Timothy Stack, I don't know if you know who that actor is, but if you pulled him up right now, you'd be like, I know exactly who that guy is. He's in a ton of stuff.
Okay.
But anyway, so he played a character named Dick Dietrich. And I want to say the show was called like Nightstand or Late Night or whatever.
I'm getting like things popping in my brain.
Yeah, it would be on like the WB or like one of those channels, like maybe even like Channel 10, I don't know, WTTW.
WCIU,
sorry. But, like, it was one of those shows that we never knew when it was going to be on. It would be like, oh, dude, that show's on. But it was a mock TV show. Like, they would always, like, there would be the hilarious, like, next week on Nightstand or whatever. And it's, like, him talking. And it's like, so what made you want to be a white supremacist? And then it shows the guy and it's a black dude, just like, well, I thought that.
I got to watch this. This is right up my alley.
Yeah, so it's been so many years. And again, I can't remember what it is, but yeah, if you look up the guy or even the character Dick Dietrich, yeah, it was just a mock talk show. Like,
yeah, I have like little like bubbles of remembering things that you're saying, but I cannot put a face to the name.
Yeah, it was great. And then just potent notables, quick ones, another character, Joan Calamezzo from Parks and Rec. Love you, Mo Collins. And then I put Jerry Springer, and that one is just because of basically what he did to talk shows, I think.
Yeah, like were you a Springer person?
Not really.
Yeah,
I mean, one, because it's on during the day, at like 1 PM, we were usually at school. And I mean, the whole, like, by the time, like, it got to a point where it was so fucking fabricated that you're like, I can't even enjoy this anymore. Yeah. And then Steve got his own show, and it's like, hang on. But, no, I'll give it to Jerry Springer, basically, just because of, like, the culture he created, whether it's good or bad.
My potent notables are at least one Chicagoan, Jenny Jones. Remember Jenny Jones?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I liked that show.
Okay.
It was just, I don't know what it was. It was a good show. And then the other one that I like that a lot of people, I think, have strong opinions on, Ricky Lake. I was a Ricky Lake fan.
I have zero opinion on that.
And then she was also the sister to Doug Heffernan in King of Queens for the first couple of seasons of King of Queens, but then they, like, wrote her off or whatever. But yeah, I like those two shows. So that leads us to then our bottom three. Probably more interesting than at least my top three. My number 3 bottom, I'm starting off with Dr. Phil. Never liked Dr. Phil. Don't like Dr. Phil now. I just don't understand anything about Dr. Phil. He's an annoying...
He's not a doctor.
Texan.
He's not a doctor.
It's just... I I don't know. I never understood it, and that's my number 3.
So do you like the Adam Ray impressions? Do you think they're good, or is that even to you, you're just like, I still don't like this guy enough to...
That's the problem, is like, I think it's good, and I think it's funny. It's funny making fun of someone who is like that.
But are you more so just like,
but
it's not funny because it's all true, or it's
I'm just not really interested past like a 1 minute skit of it. Like if it was a reel, I'd be like, this is the best reel I've ever seen. Yeah. But the fact that it's like Chicago theater, and I mean, good for him. That's awesome. Yeah. I got no like negative opinions on it. It's just like, I don't want to watch someone dressed as Dr. Phil.
Yeah, it's like, even though it's funny, I still, it's making me think about it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
think of that though. Like this guy's been a comedian, Adam Ray, for a long time. A lot of people say nice things about him. He's like one of the nicest people, blah blah blah. And then his big thing is dressing like Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Which is like...
Well, he had Biden too, but yeah, I think Dr. Phil was way bigger.
Yeah, and it's just like, this is the thing. You are dressed as a real person.
Yeah.
Not like Ernest, who's like a character.
Yeah, you're literally just like, your shtick is mocking someone else who is still alive.
And good for him. Yeah. I love it. I'm surprised he doesn't get like sued or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen some videos with like Dr. Phil actually like, he's pretty good. Yeah. All right, my number 3. I don't think I need to get much into this one. It's Alex Jones. Just a fucking piece of shit of a human, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and annoying too. Loud and brash.
Well, and I've seen like there's been instances because he's like banned from Spotify. There's been podcasts that have tried to like get him on just like under different aliases, and like I've heard of these like getting the other podcasts getting shut down for stuff like that, and it's like, who cares about this dude, you know? And it's just a scumbag. So that's as far as I'll go.
I'm surprised like that he is not back in.
Yeah, like especially with our administration now, he would have been pardoned, if you will. Hey, you can come right back onto every podcast you will.
My number 2 is another person I thought was loud, brash. I never got into it.
Is it a him or a her?
Him.
Okay.
This is Mancow.
Oh, that's a good one.
I was never really a fan of Mancow.
That's a really good one.
And now he's like right-wing nut, which I don't know. Whatever. I don't really care about that stuff. Yeah, I just always found him loud and brash. Yeah. I guess I just don't really like that type of person or whatever. So
I thought he was fantastic. Like when that whole thing started, it's just like, wow, Chicago's got like a Howard Stern.
Yeah.
And there was his whole like the crew, Turd and like Freak's niece and all this stuff and Freak. And then I think one day it was just like, I'm kind of over this stuff now. And yes, he's a very obnoxious guy. And I always hate it whether it's a shtick or not. I hate it when someone is just a bully. Like when he's just, and it's like, okay, it's funny, whatever.
He's
but
like
it's like
talk louder than the other person.
Yeah, and then also just always like, whenever someone wants to point out something they did wrong or whatever, it's like they'll just get louder and more. Oh yeah, well maybe next week I just won't have you on the show, shit like that. So that's a good call.
Yeah. I mean, I'll even say this: one of my potent notables is Stern. I was never a Stern fan. I was like, it's too gross for me. Yeah. It's too much. Like that's not for me. Like call me boring or whatever. But
no, I did enjoy Stern. Have you seen the movie though, Private Parts?
A long time ago.
I think that might, maybe speaking of like top 5s like Kingpin, that might be like in mine because really? I think that movie is fantastic. I'm not a huge Stern fan, but I think that movie is amazing.
He had like incredible people on and like got pro wrestlers and stuff on there and whatever, but I was never interested in it.
Okay. My number 2 then, and this is, I don't know if I'm going to say like a edgy one, but Jay Leno. Well, I was just never really into that whole thing. And like, I don't know. I just never really found him funny, and when he does cameos and things, like I just don't, I don't know.
Well, now every 3 weeks he like falls or gets burnt by an exploding engine or something. Like, have you seen?
No.
You're not subscribed to Jay Leno news?
No. You know what? I was talking to someone about that the other day for whatever, like him and Jerry Seinfeld, how they both have like their car guys.
Oh,
so they're guys where it's like, oh, I'll take this car today, I guess. But anyway,
Jay Leno has had many serious injuries over the past year, I would say. Jeez. Where he's like in the hospital and like burned his face.
Yeah, because he's like racing all the time and shit, right?
I think it's just like working on cars and something explodes. One of them, like he was helping his wife and he fell down like into a bush or something. Like it's it happens. People get old and whatever. I like Jay Leno. Like that's who I grew up watching. Okay. That was the late night that I watched when I was a kid. And it was always like, are there comedians? Who's the musical guest? And who is the monologue? Yeah. I never really cared about like the Hollywood stars or whatever, but it was always like stand-up, music. Like Kevin Eubanks was awesome. And I just always liked that style of like stand-up where it's like almost hacky, but that's like what it was at the time.
Now he was the one that, not beefing with, but the Conan thing, right? That was Conan and Jay Leno.
Yeah, messed up Conan pretty good.
I wasn't sure if it was Letterman or...
I was kind of hoping he was going to be on that Mark Twain Awards thing that they would...
Oh, that would have been cool.
If they like... But I'm assuming they don't... I'm assuming they don't talk and whatever. Like, it was not a good thing. So, my number one is Chelsea Handler. Chelsea lately hated the show. I don't really like her. She's very just not up my alley. I don't know. Nothing bad to say about her stand-up. Like, it's whatever it is, but it's not for me.
I made a joke before when we were writing these up or when we were talking about them kind of, and I was like, I don't want to have all women, but my number one is a woman. It's Ellen. And
I forgot about
I mean, like, just because, like, one, she's like a notorious shitbag, allegedly, but just like terrible to her staff and everything like that. And then just just someone who I think is like a female version almost of Jimmy Fallon, just like and like everything is so over the top. And then I was gonna say, actually, for a potent notable, Wendy Williams.
Okay.
Who I thought was a man for the longest time. I'm sorry. I honestly thought she was like post, she's not, I guess. So, and that had nothing to do with me not liking her. But there was just, I didn't care for her show, and I just like too loud and too fucking aggressive, and
it's like very woman show.
Yeah. And again, nothing against that at all. It's just something about this woman. I was just like, I don't like her.
Yeah, I told you mine, Stern, and then my other one would be like The View, any of them.
Okay.
And by the way, like
Rosie,
it's like I don't even necessarily disagree with a lot of stuff that they're talking about.
How they present it.
It's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Not that I've sat and watched The View many times, but every time I'm on or I see a clip or something, I'm like, I'm glad I don't watch this show.
So as far as some of like the iconic ones, where were you on like Regis and Kathy?
I had no opinion. It's like I'd never seen anything. I like Regis because he was in like WrestleMania one year and
he seemed like wrestling. A fun, like snappy guy.
Yeah,
and then like Michael Strahan does it now, and it's like I have no problem with either one of them. I just don't.
I don't think really he does it now. It's Kelly Ripa and her husband, Mark Consuelo or whatever. But it's just like so many of these like daytime ones. It's like I don't have an opinion on most of these things.
I think that when you said Ricki Lake, it was just like, I remember her show. I remember she was in that movie Serial Mom. So, but other than that, I don't really.
One name that we have not mentioned at all that I feel like might be a Hattori Hanzo guy. He might be screaming at us.
All right.
But I was going to bring this up when you were talking about Conan and how he was kind of our guy. I feel like if you were a little bit older than us, David Letterman was that guy for you.
Yeah.
And I did not like David Letterman back in the day. When it was Letterman, Leno, I was Leno. I was like, give me the clean jokes. I don't like this weird stuff that's going on. I don't know
anything about Letterman, really.
It was a lot of like weird humor. And I think like going back to see it now that I'm older, I'm like, I should have watched Letterman because like I'm way more into that style of stuff.
Yeah.
Or I got into that. And that was Conan did a lot of like weird, goofy, just trying stuff. And I think Letterman was kind of that person. But I don't know. I never used to like New York comedians when I was younger. For some reason, I just thought they were like too dirty or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So maybe I just lumped them into a thing here. But I don't know. No thoughts on Letterman?
No.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, kind of. I don't know, maybe not. I think Conan is when that was like the starting point for me, I believe. So like Letterman, Leno, all those guys, it was like MASH for me. when the night talk shows came on, it was either bedtime or time to put on Fox and watch The Simpsons.
I like Letterman now. He's got stuff on Netflix where he interviews people or whatever. I like him a lot now, but just at the time, it missed me.
I saw him recently on the Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis, and just one of the greatest jokes. He's just like, no one fucking cares, crackhead Santa Claus or whatever he calls them, and it's like
that should have been
Letterman
number one.
had like the huge ugly beard at the Galifianakis, potable.
I was going to ask you about Carson Daly. Is he your favorite?
Carson Daly is one of those dudes where it's just like, I feel like he got so much shit.
But I feel bad because
he was banging like the hottest babes.
Yeah,
I'm totally fine with. I feel like Carson Daly would have been an awesome dude to hang out with. Almost like if you watch Impractical Jokers, Joey Fatone from NSYNC, like you'd be like, oh, he was in NSYNC. It's like he's fucking hilarious, and it's like it was a job for him. You know, it's like you can tell he's not like,
I think we're just too old to not like people anymore. We're just like, he's probably fine. It's probably okay.
We have to be nice and polite.
All right, let's pick next week's top 3 favorite and least favorite, whatever we're gonna do here. If you want to something, then email us or call us.
This is always the part where we get thrown off because like we're talking and working at the same time, and I don't think my audio is recording.
Good.
Perfect.
Speak louder, then.
Well, you know what? No, we're not going to do that because we did that a couple weeks ago.
Speaking of this, Mike.
All right. Next week we're going to do... Damn it. We've done a lot of these already.
Stop putting them back into the...
We can't do that one.
What? What is it? I think that's a good one.
What are you, nuts? I don't want to do that.
All right.
We'll do bottom 3. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'm saying, we're saying top. All right, we'll have to...
All right, you know what? All right, we're going to do this. I pulled this one last week, and I threw it back in there, but I liked it. So we're going to do top 3... I don't know what mic I'm talking into now. Brushes with greatness.
Okay, so that's like meeting celebrities.
Or being in the presence of something. You know what? Let's not just say it has to be celebrities. Like if you were down the street when 9/11 happened.
Wow. Okay.
You could. I guess that's not a brush with greatness.
You said it, buddy.
Maybe not that. Maybe if you were down the street when Bin Laden was killed.
All right. The end of this episode is the audio is gonna be weird, and just imagine what the other top 3 we could have picked is. By the way, that's a Megan one that we're not doing.
I know, but well, maybe we'll mention it next week.
For the Patreon, we'll do it. Anyway, whatever. Bye.
Later.